Hi, this is Martin Andelman from Deltrium, and welcome to Gummies for Grownups, the podcast where we talk about THC gummies, how to use them, how they can be great, and how they can be not so great. Today, I have a little pulled off the old internet thing, and I just wanted to point out some of the people throughout history that have just been wrong about something, or everyone thought the wrong way. They came along and said something different. Like the first one that ChatGPT gave me was Galileo. He had this crazy idea that the Earth was not at the middle of the solar system. He was like, no, it's the sun. People went, no, we're going to put you in prison. That's completely wrong. Of course, those people are now considered crazy people because we all know that all the planets revolve around the sun. Then you've got, of course, Albert Einstein, good old Uncle Al. Uncle Al had this theory of relativity, and it just changed everything. At the time, people thought that Isaac Newton's way of thinking was the only way to go. Of course, we know Einstein was right. And then you've got a guy that I can't pronounce, Ignaz Semmelweis. This is a guy who had the radical idea that we should wash our hands in hospitals. Crazy, right? I mean, why would anybody think that would work? But at the time, no one did. No one thought that would matter at all. Why would we wash hands? He was right. Then we've got Alan Turing, and he had the idea, like, we should have computers. It would help. It would be better. People went, ridiculous. We don't need those. Why would we possibly need those? Now we can't live without them even for an hour. So the conventional wisdom out there of what's going on is, a lot of times just not right. And when it comes to gummies and THC, it's really not right. Here's what's going on. I call it the milligram game. That's where you go out to buy some gummies or something, and you look at the package, and one package says 500 milligrams, and then you look over to the right and it says 1,000 milligrams. And then you go a little further than that, it's 1,500 milligrams. I saw a chocolate bar the other day, 3,500 milligrams. Now, the implication is that the 500 milligram bag of gummies is going to be not as good as the 1,000 milligram bag of gummies. And if you follow that logic right along, you just keep going up the milligram scale until you're like, I need 3 million milligrams. Now I saw one company doing it in micrograms. So now there's 30 million micrograms. I mean, look, these are just numbers. They're irrelevant. They have nothing to do with your experience taking that gummy. Nothing. Your body can't absorb more than a certain amount of THC and other cannabinoids. It doesn't matter if there's more of them. Makes no difference at all. Have you ever tried cannabis? Ever in your whole life? Did you notice that if you were smoking, back in the day, you were smoking cannabis, you were smoking pot, marijuana, whatever, you did that, did you just get higher and higher and higher and higher? Like, that's what would happen with alcohol, right? I mean, if you sit down and you start taking shots of tequila, you will get drunker and drunker and drunker and drunker until you either pass out or end up in the hospital. That's what'll happen. That doesn't happen with cannabis, right? You could sit around and smoke a joint and then another and another and another and another. I mean, eventually, I guess you'd fall asleep and eat your weight in Oreos, but you wouldn't keep getting higher and higher, right? Well, that should tell you something. That should start to give you a clue that milligrams don't matter. Because if milligrams mattered, then you'd smoke another joint. It would be like alcohol. You would eventually just pass out and die. But that doesn't happen because your body can't absorb more THC. It's like 4 to 12%. After that, it doesn't matter. The rest of it is going out through your kidneys, through your liver. It's your body is processing it. It's making no difference whatsoever. So if somebody showed you something and said, well, there's 500 milligrams here and that's $30 and this one's 1,000 milligrams, so it's $60, the whole thing is a waste of money, time, and attention. It makes no difference at all. Now, if you want to prove that to yourself, we make a Deltrium blend called Soaring. Soaring is designed to be intoxicating. Soaring, high, right? It's designed for that. It only has 10 milligrams of Delta 9 And then it has 10 milligrams of THCV. And THCV, you can think of like an accelerator. It increases the bioavailability of the THC. So even though there's only 10 milligrams in that gummy, with the THCV and the other cannabinoids that we've blended, I'd put it up against anything you could buy anywhere. It'll be more fun. It'll give you that euphoric feeling, and it won't be too much so that, you'll be trying to go to sleep. Please go to sleep. Please go to sleep. Won't be anything like that because we know how much to take. We know how to tell you how much of that gummy you should take. Maybe your dose is a quarter of a gummy. Maybe it's half a gummy. Maybe it's 3/4 of a gummy. What is your optimal dose? Well, remember, with Deltrium, we can answer that question, and no one else can. Everyone else, you don't have to believe me. Go out and try it. Pick a thing of gummies off a shelf somewhere and say, how much should I take? Here's what you'll hear. Well, everybody's different. Thank God they told me that. I thought everybody was the same. Well, everybody's different. And so start with taking, a little, and then, wait a little while and see if you're feeling it. And feeling what? Well, I'm not sure, but whatever you're feeling. And then if you're not, just take some more. And then you wait a little. If you're not, then take a little more. Oh my God. That's like a recipe for how to take too much of a gummy. Don't do that. With Deltrium, you're going to go online and you're going to hit find my dose. And then a bunch of questions are going to come up and they're all about you. And it's all confidential. And you're going to answer the questions about you. And then the algorithm is going to factor those different answers together in order to assign you a certain color. Let's say you were orange. Then you'd look on a product and it would say, oh, the orange people are taking 1/2. That's the orange people. If you were purple, maybe the purple people are taking 1/4. The blue people are taking a whole gummy. And it's really important that you use the algorithm. It's not a marketing gimmick. Not a marketing gimmick. I had a friend who received, when he got his gummies in the mail, called me and said, hey, I got them. My wife and I are going to try them tonight. And I said, are you using the algorithm? And he went, do I need to do that? And I went, yes, you do. And they both did. He and his wife both did. She came out purple. He came out blue. What that means is if they had not used the algorithm, she would have taken way too much and had a terrible experience. He would have taken way too little and not felt anything at all. That's how that would go. But because of the algorithm, she knew the right amount to take, he knew the right amount to take, and they had a great experience. Only Deltrium can do that. By the way, if you think the algorithm is some sort of marketing gimmick, why would anybody create an algorithm that tells you to take less of their product? Nobody would do that. Nobody does that. We did it not because of how much of it. We don't care. We want you to take the right amount for you because that's why you'll come back again and again and buy Deltrium. You'll, like so many other people now, you'll walk into the store and go, do you have Deltrium? Oh, you don't have the Deltrium Dream? No, I'll wait. They only want Deltrium because it works, because they know the right amount to take, and because Dream or Unwind or Energize or any of our blends, they know the effect they're trying to achieve. So look, I mean, like Galileo, Einstein, Semmelweis, Alan Turing, they all came up with, they had a new idea and the conventional wisdom said, no, that's silly. And we now all know they were right, okay? Well, it's the same thing about the milligram game. Less can actually be more. Like my particular dose of Joyful is half. If I take a whole Joyful, it's not as good as if I take a half. I have a friend, Joe, he takes 1/4 of a Dream. I take 3/4 of a Dream. 2 different people, 2 different results. It's not about the milligrams. It has nothing to do with a bigger number on the package. That's not what this is all about. So check out Deltrium.com. Learn something. The science has changed. It's changed. It's exciting and it's important. It makes your life better. So check it out. Check out Deltrium.com. Check out the glossary. Check out the YouTube channel. Spend a little time. Learn why Deltrium is so much better. And it has nothing to do with how big a number of milligrams that you put on the package. That's not what's going to make a difference. All right. Check it out. Deltrium.com. Find your dose, answer the questions, and know what you're doing. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for tuning in to Gummies for Grownups with your host, Martin Andelman, as we unwrap the world of THC gummies together. For the finest THC gummies for grownups, head over to Deltrium.com. Discover products designed with your needs in mind. Whether it's sleep, relief, or a boost of energy, Deltrium has you covered. Until next time, stay curious, stay informed, and remember, when it comes to THC gummies, choose Deltrium. Only Deltrium.